In the 1500s, Inca Empire was one of the most powerful empires in the world. But in 1532, everything changed in a single brutal encounter in the town of Cajamarca. This wasn't just a formal encounter between Atahualpa, the Sapa Inca at the time, and the Spanish conquistador Francisco Pizarro. It was a collision of pride, strategy, and ego. This is the story of the fateful hours that reshaped the destiny of an entire empire. But to understand those hours, we have to go back. The wounds already tearing through the empire. A civil war had just ended between Atahualpa and Huascar, the two royal brothers, both claiming the throne. The empire was left weakened, scarred, and divided. Atahualpa won, but at a cost that the empire would soon feel. At the same time, Spanish conquistador Francisco Pizarro was on his second expedition to South America. This time, he was determined to conquer the Incas in the name of Spain, wealth, and glory. To Atahualpa, however, these Spaniards were nothing more than strange bearded men from a distant, irrelevant tribe. He agreed to meet peacefully in Cajamarca, a city that gave him the geographical advantage. He still made sure to assert dominance. He reminded Pizarro of his recent civil war victory from 2 days ago, confident that the power was in his hands. But Pizarro had something else in mind. On November 16th, 1532, 2 days after being crowned the Sapa Inca, Atahualpa entered Cajamarca's main plaza with over 6,000 lightly armed attendants. The Spanish were nowhere in sight. Time passed. The sun dipped lower. The plaza remained quiet. A little too quiet. Finally, a Spanish priest, Vicente de Valverde, approached Atahualpa with something strange. Bible. Atahualpa had only heard of this object, sacred to the bearded men. Valverde demanded he accept Christianity and the Spanish rule.
I demand you follow the Bible.
Atahualpa, insulted by the demand, tossed the Bible to the ground. The moment that the book hit the dust, so too did the fate of his empire. At that instant, Pizarro gave the signal. Turns out they were hiding, surrounding the Incas, waiting for a time to strike. The Spanish launched a full ambush. Cannons thundered, horses charged, steel swords cut through the unarmed Inca crowd. The advantageous plaza turned into a deadly trap. The same narrow entrances that made it easy to defend now made it impossible to escape. It was a massacre. Within minutes, thousands of Inca lay dead. The Spanish, almost untouched. In the chaos, Pizarro seized Atahualpa alive. At that moment, the Inca Empire lost its center. Atahualpa tried to bargain for his life. He offered a ransom, enough gold and silver to fill a room. The Spanish took the gold and used him as a puppet. And when he was no longer useful, they executed him. The Battle of Cajamarca wasn't really a battle at all. It was a trap, planned carefully and executed brutally. From that moment onwards, the mighty Inca Empire began to crumble, while the Spanish conquests of the South Americas surged ahead.